And here's a rundown of our top stories. I'm Brian Polya Manzares.
And I'm Ben Orlove.
And this is GlacierHub News. So this week's report is very special because the managing editor of our news organization is co-presenting with me today. Ben, it's great to have you on this show.
It's wonderful to be here. I've really enjoyed the episodes I've seen and how great that I'm actually here with you.
Well, Ben, you've been a mentor to all of us at GlacierHub and we really appreciate it, and I'm just so thrilled to have you here. I heard you just came back from China.
That's correct. Got back just last weekend.
And this upcoming report is going to be from you.
That's right.
All right, so let's get into it.
In Lanzhou, China, researchers from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change flew in from over 30 countries to meet and advance their work on a report that will assess the state of research on glaciers and related topics. The report traces cryosphere ocean links, particularly the contribution of meltwater from the Antarctic and Greenland ice sheets to sea level rise, and also considers impacts on coasts, islands, and mountains. Hans Otto Pertner, co-chair of the IPCC Working Group 2, said, quote, "We are grateful for the comprehensive feedback we received in the first expert review of this report. By ensuring that the latest scientific knowledge is included in our assessments, the reviews help us to provide the best available basis for global climate policy. The outcomes of our lead authors' meeting in Lanzhou will take us a huge step closer to this goal." This draft will be circulated for review by experts and governments in November 2018 and will be reviewed and revised at another meeting in March 2019 in Kazan, Russia.
The remote and mountainous Kamchatka Peninsula in eastern Russia is home to over 600 glaciers and 30 active volcanoes. The glaciers of Kamchatka have been in retreat due to climate change. However, a recent study found in the scientific journal Geosciences found that not all of the glaciers in Kamchatka are retreating. Some glaciers have remained stable, while others have even advanced. Researchers were able to draw a connection between the advancing glaciers and the increased glacier surface elevations. It turns out volcanic debris, which are deposited on the glaciers in the aftermath of an eruption, increase elevation and insulate the glacier by absorbing solar radiation. This allows the glacier to remain stable or even advance. In the future, the researchers hope to further employ data to analyze more of Kamchatka's glaciers and to map the glacial geomorphology of the greater region, including eastern Siberia.
Turning to another region and another person, 74-year-old Halstein Haraldsson is part of a contingent of volunteer glacier monitors who are at the front lines of tracking glacier retreat in Iceland. Haraldsson measures glacier retreat the old-school way, with a measuring tape, pencil, and a pad of yellow paper. It's likely one of the longest-running examples of citizen climate science in the world, as well as being a local tradition. He travels from a small town just outside Reykjavik to the Snæfellsnes Peninsula in western Iceland, where only 11% of the landmass is still covered in ice, and rapidly ebbing glaciers are threatening to reshape the landscape. When Kristjana Eyþórsdóttir, the granddaughter of the founder of Iceland's Glaciological Society, was asked about Haraldsson's methods, she said, quote, "We used to use measuring tape, but now we're tracking with GPS. There are more possibilities to represent the data, but I think we will always go there to the glaciers themselves until they're gone." Some 35 volunteers monitor 64 measurement sites around the world. Even in an age when precision glacier tracking can be conducted from afar, Halstein's heirloom monitoring continues to be of value.
The sensitive Indian region of Ladakh, bordered by Pakistan and China, is vulnerable to both human and natural threats. A recent study found in the International Journal of Risk Reduction found that disaster risk reduction is often slow or even absent in Ladakh. Two key issues in the disaster management governance of Ladakh were highlighted in the study. The first was that natural disasters are often framed by the government as extraordinary events. As a result, data and experiences are not systematically recorded. The second, according to the lead author of the paper, Jessica Field, is that, quote, there must be a shift from a reactive, hazard-centered approach, where the Army seems to be the natural lead, to a more proactive approach. Field commented, adding that the issue of flooding is well recognized in the region and that there have been various efforts over the years to limit the impacts of natural disasters. She says, quote, with increased hazards, we are also likely to see the expansion and entrenchment of the military in the area, who are seen as the most appropriate primary responders. And so, Ben, this is my last report with GlacierHub. It has been an honor to serve with your news organization, and thank you for the mentorship.
Been great to work together, and I've been learning an enormous amount about just video and news production myself, so I think we're all advancing together here.
Well, thank you very much. You know, advancing like glaciers, huh?
Yes. Well, and it's fascinating seeing these reports of the coordination in some places, the local people in Iceland working with the researchers, shows how well that can work, and then you see in Ladakh perhaps not so much coordination, and so a lesser ability to confront hazards. So there's a lesson there to just getting different groups together. Yeah,
I have to say, one of the things that I really learned from GlacierHub is this is really a global thing. Like when you think about glaciers, sometimes you think it's only in certain localities, but you realize that all over the world, there's a lot at stake when it comes to glaciers, and it's been an honor investigating that with your team.
Thanks.
All right, and with that, those have been your top stories for this week. And for the last time, this is Brian Polio Manzares.
I'm Ben Orlove, and this is GlacierHub News.
For more glacier-related news, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Keep it cool.
And have a great week.